Joining us and getting ready for year 2 as a member of the Boston Red Sox is Crawford, and I will ask you what everybody asks you every day when you walk in, how's the wrist?
It's getting better. You know, I took a few more swings off the tee today with 2 hands, so you know, that went good, and you know, hopefully tomorrow my wrist will be feeling, it won't be sore, and I can take more swings.
How much did you learn about yourself now that you look back? You have an off-season to look back, and I'm sure a season that you didn't want to go the way it did.
Right.
How much have you learned about yourself, and how do you come into camp this year trying to put that behind you and move on?
Well, like you say, you learn that you've never figured it out. You know, I don't care how long you've been playing, you can always learn stuff, or a season like last year can always happen to you. You know, you've never figure things out. So coming into this year, I think I'm a little more prepared, and you know, I understand a little bit more about what goes on around here, and I'm ready to make the adjustments.
When you were playing for the Rays, you and I used to talk about Fenway Park being almost a perfect place for you, the way your natural swing to drive the ball to left center field. Did you find yourself trying to justify the contract and start trying to pull for home runs in April?
Yeah, you definitely got caught up in that. You know, you sign a contract like that, you obviously want to show people that you're worth it. And you get in a bad habit, you start trying to do things that you normally wouldn't do. And I think I was a victim of that last year.
When you said that you looked at some video during the offseason, what did you find when you looked at that video?
Well, the main thing was my stance, you know. Half the time my front leg was almost outside of the box, you know. For some reason, you know, guys kept telling me that I was real stubborn enough, I wouldn't listen. You know, I just felt like I knew what was right. So, you know, after going back and looking at the video and actually seeing that, you know, it was really extreme the way I was standing, you know, that was the first adjustment that I made.
And you're also thinking about trying to run a little bit more this year, right?
Yeah, I definitely want to get back to running. You know, I don't know why I didn't run as much last year, but I definitely want to get back to running because I'm still a fast guy. Stolen bases is something that I definitely want to do, and it's a big part of my game.
You talk about pulling for the fence and trying to hit home runs and trying to live up to the contract. You think you put too much pressure on yourself last year?
At the beginning, I didn't think so. You know, maybe as things started going along, you got into it and you really was in the middle of everything, and you like, wow, you know, I'm really in this situation right now. Then it kind of sunk on you as the season went on. You know, I started to put a lot of pressure on myself. I think I was pressing a little bit more than what I normally do, and you know, it just all went bad. So, you know, that's the good thing about it. I learned from it as much as possible, and hopefully that's all behind me.
For a number of reasons, part of which was you're struggling in April, but part of it was the guys in the lineup. You wind up being moved down that lineup fairly quickly, and you stay down there. As you look back on it, do you think that had an effect on you, the fact that you were moving around and ultimately were lower in the lineup?
I'm pretty sure it had an effect on me, you know, mentally. You know, never had that happen to me before, so, you know, it was one of the first times in my life that I actually questioned my ability, and you know, and everybody knows if you're thinking too much in this game, you're already beat. So, you know, I'm pretty sure it played its part.
And you said other people would mention it. I mean, it was sort of there.
Yeah, you know, from other teams, you know, guys that come up to you and they say, you know, what are you doing in the 7th hole? You know, it's like you only been there for like 3 days. You know, I mean, you only been at the top of the order for like 3 days. You know, and it's like, well, if they gonna leave you in the 7th hole, we fine with it. You know, it's less stress on us. You know, so you know, just a little joke. You know how the guys kid around, so little stuff like that.
Has Bobby Valentine made it clear to you that he'll just, you know, he'll wait until the end of spring training to figure out how he's going to use the lineup?
Yeah, he hasn't talked to me about it yet. You know, he said we need to talk about it at some point. I'm pretty sure he will talk to me about it. But, you know, the thing is, after going through what I did last year, if I have to hit 7, 6, wherever now, you know, I feel like I'll be able to do that now. You know, last year I just couldn't, you know, I just couldn't really understand why I was hitting, you know, in the 7th hole. But, you know, I think if I have to do it all over again, I can make the adjustments.
Also, how much of an adjustment was it when you played in a big ballpark to come and play with that wall right back of you in left field?
it's quite an adjustment because you got to come in a little closer, and your reaction time got to be a little quicker because those balls are coming a little quicker. Then you got to make quick decisions on, if the ball's going to be off the wall and, where you want to throw it to. You just got to be a little more, you got to think a little quicker and be a little more decisive about where you want to throw the ball to real quick.
One of your teammates said to me today, he thought you'd smile more in 3 days than you did all last year.
I smile more in 3 days, 3 days here? So in spring training? It's probably right. I mean, last year, it wasn't really nothing to smile about. And personally, we was doing well as a team, but, personally, I went through the worst year of my career, and just to have to go through that, it was hard to smile.
Talking to your teammates in Tampa Bay, they would talk about that smile, that personality. And even before the struggles really got away, it seemed like you never had that, the ability to have that personality here in Boston. Is that something you tried to make sure you came in with that attitude
this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I normally come in with, upbeat attitude, positive, ready to go. I did that every year in Tampa, and I just wanted to get back to that this year. Like I said, I feel like I took the game's best shot last year. It was real bad. So, I figured that it can't get no worse than that. And so, there's no need to come in worrying about what happened last year. We just going to try to go forward from here.
A lot of players obviously went through similar bad years in different ways. We're hearing a lot about the belief that in the end could make you stronger. Is that what you think, going through a year like that?
I feel like it definitely made me feel, made me, dig deeper and find out more about myself, see what I can handle and stuff like that. So it was definitely a test for me at the end. I do think I'm going to be a stronger player for it. Petey talked to me about it all the time. Like, whenever you come out of this, you're going to be a better person. So, I'm hoping that's the case, and that's the way I really feel deep down.
Crawford.